Hi guys, it's Emily from Novella Novels and welcome to today's video. This is the Alphabet Soup book tag. N is for Novella. Now, as with all tag videos, I will be looking down to look at my notes. Charlie tagged me in this ages ago and I'm so sorry it's taken so long to do this. I am going to tag a few people at the end, but because I'm not entirely sure who's already done it because it's taken me so long to catch up. Guys, if you're tagging me in videos, be warned there is a bit of a delay. I've got quite a lot and I'm trying to mix them in with my other videos. But this was created by Sean at Sean the Book Maniac. I need to subscribe to him, but apparently, according to Charlie and everyone else, he's amazing, so I will be soon. Anyway, let's get on with the prompts. I'm not going to show you all the books for the answers for this because half of them I don't have, and do you know what? I'm just going to tell you what they are. So, N is for the last good book you read. Well, this is the last book that to me stands out as one of the most amazing books, and that is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. This I buddy read with the lovely Clint. I have been talking to the author a bit on Instagram, like messaging and like commenting on posts, and she comments back. This is one of the first of her books I've actually read, but I've heard so much about her and I plan to read all of them. This book is absolutely amazing. It is fantasy, it's YA, it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, all of which I love. Now, I'm quite new to fantasy, and this has some quite gory bits in it, but it has more twists and turns than you can ever imagine. The ending has literally made me and Clint scream into the blooming book because it has got more cliffhangers than you can ever imagine. And all I can say is I'm very grateful that the next book is out in January because I will be buying it. In fact, I'll be pre-ordering it. It is that good. When I say this is a good book, this is so good. So, yes, that was my answer to that one. N is for Neighbour, a work of fiction focused on, or at least largely concerning, neighbours. I've gone for The Forever House by Veronica Henry. It is a lovely cosy chick lit. It's about a house, about a village, neighbours around. It's about this whole village and sort of neighbourly environment. I love my neighbours. I've got some really great neighbours inside. My little block is beautiful. It's such a friendly block. So a book about neighbours and a book about that community spirit to me rang very home and I love it. Literally, Lynn and Alex next door are some of the best people ever, and I've got like literally in all different directions. Neighbours are brilliant, so yeah. I love books about the community spirit and villages especially. It's one of my favourites. N is for Name, a writer whose first and or last name it starts with an N. I've gone for Nikita Gill. That stood out for me. I love her writing. It's beautiful. She writes amazing poetry. It is aimed at the female audience, I think predominantly the ones I've read. That she writes fantastic retellings. Her fairy tale retelling is just absolutely amazing, and she is just a beautiful, beautiful author. N is for Nuptials, a work of fiction that doesn't suck about a wedding. I've gone for A Wedding Promise by Emma Hannigan. Now, I've not read her chick lit books for ages, but I was reading so many of them last year, and that is set around weddings, literally, and I loved it. It was cosy, it was chick lit. I know it's not Charlie's thing, but I loved it, and it's so me, and don't we all dream of a dream wedding? Hint, hint, Chris, I would love my dream wedding, but I love weddings. I was a bridesmaid at Charlie's. We just had Vicky's, my other sister's wedding this year. I've got Simone's wedding next year. I love them. I love the happiness. I love the feeling of watching the couples get together. So a book that's around that is great to me. N is for Not Aging Well, a book you like less now than when you read it. Twilight. When I first read it, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I liked the films as well. I tried reading it this year and I didn't. I think being a bit more grown up, so to speak, I hate that word, I don't like it as well now. And I think there's certain... I must admit, I feel guilty for saying it, but I even didn't like the Enid Blyton Faraway Tree, but this time around I liked it less when I was a child. And that to me broke my heart. I love that, but that sort of... I think it's good to sort of go back to books that you read when you were years ago and younger. If they put you off, then, goodbye, babe. Right, N, a book with loads of N in the titles. I went for Anna Karenina. Now, I think Charles Heathcote, he did this video recently and he answered that as well. But it's an obvious one. Like, I was really struggling with this question. So, I went for that one. I've only recently read it and I loved it. And, yeah, loads of ends in it. So, hopefully I get some points for that one. But I didn't copy you, Charles. I did write this down originally. N is for not sure. A book you kept changing your mind about whether you wanted to read it or not. That was Normal People by Sally Rooney. I'd heard rave reviews about it over Bookstagram and over BookTube. I was like, I'm going to love it. And then I kept bought it on my shelf. I bought it like full price. So I obviously thought it was going to be good. And yeah, I really wasn't sure whether to read it. And when I read it, I'm now thinking I really regret reading it. Charlie knows I hated that book. I absolutely hated it. But yeah, that's an answer to that one. I'm never reading, so no offence, Sally Rooney, but not doing that one again. No way. N is for nitpick. Some small literary writing or book related that drives you round the bend. This I found quite hard because I don't read very many short novels, although I'm getting into them. But this one I put The Sense of Ending by Julian Barnes. I picked it up from the library in like the short literature, but it's very literary. Julian Barnes writes very literary fiction sort of writing, and I hated it. I've got 2 of his bigger books that I've got because he wrote Blooming Downton Abbey, so I thought I was going to love it. I love Downton Abbey, but no, I didn't like that at blooming all, and I was just like, I wanted to like it. I was like, please get good, and it didn't. And I've got 2 of his books, like I said, and whether I read them, they're less of a priority now. But I may get back to it, you never know. N is for Next to Nothing, a book you read as an adult that you can barely remember a thing about. And that's Tempting Fate by Jane Green. I love her Jane Green's newer works, but now looking back on some of her older works, I can't remember a darn thing of them. Although, to be honest, I've just literally read a Thomas Hardy book, and I tell you what, I can barely remember what was in that, and I've only just read it, so that's another answer to that one. Thomas Hardy, Under the Greenwood Tree. That's my other answer. N is for New Zealand, a book or writer that you would read from here. So you can find it online. I looked at it, I have no idea. I'm trying to read like more fiction that's written by authors in different countries now, but I had to look this one up, and I looked up, I like the sound of In the Land of Long White Cloud by Sarah Lark. Apparently that's from New Zealand. I do need... Guys, please recommend any authors from this area. I would love to look into it, because like I said, I want to widen my genre and areas. N is for Nodding Off, a mind-numbingly boring book. Oh God, you guys are going to hate me. Tom's going to hate me. I think if Katie from Books and Things that reading this, she'll hate me watching this. Persuasion by Jane Austen. I hated it. It was like, oh my God. It was on my shelves for like the longest, and I thought, I read it for one of the readathons, or I read it a while ago, and I literally wanted to rip my heart out when I was reading that book. I hated it so much. I was literally screaming at the book. Like, Charlie knows I hated it so much. I think most of you know. It was probably my only classic I've given away, and it was probably one of my first Jane Austen books, and I'm regretting it because I like her work more now that I've read more of them, and I probably understood. But apparently Persuasion was her last book, and it wasn't completed properly, or it wasn't proofread or something. So that could be why there was holes in it. But, oh my goodness. If it wasn't for you guys, I probably wouldn't have carried on with Jane Austen after that. It was so bad, I hated it. And it's for the next book you're going to read. I've only just answered that one, because I'm hoping to start this one today. The Warden. By the time this goes out, I would have read it. But it's an Anthony Trollope book, and Tom literally raves about it, so I was going to pick it up. It's a library book, so it's not too long. It's about 200 pages. Tom said this will... Actually, it's less than 200 pages. Yeah, kind of, about 200 pages. Tom said that literally I wanted to read a Hardy book, Anthony Trollope book, for Victober. Who do I go to? But obviously Tom. And he recommended that I start with that one out of all the Anthony Trollope books. And I'm so looking forward to reading it. I'm going to read extra of my other books this morning because I can't wait. So you guys would have heard what I thought of it by now. But yeah, that's my next book. Now, N is for now it's your turn. Tag a bevy of booktubers. I am so late in putting this up that I don't honestly know who's already done it. But I'm going to tag Clint, Tia and Tom. Any more of you that have done this, that haven't done it, please feel free. Go on, Simone. I think I'm going to add you as an extra one. I think you might like this one. But I hope you've all enjoyed this video. It's been quite a fun one to make. I've got a few more tag videos coming along at the moment, so they will be interlinked and I will catch up with them, guys, I promise. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you all soon.